What is going on YouTube? This is I'd Game That back to you for another Pokemon trading card game video, and today we are going to be going over a set review, which is Roaring Skies, which is the next TCG set that will come out. It's already come out for the Japanese, but for us we have to wait about a month, May 6th, for us to get the set. And before I actually start off this video, I want to say sort of a farewell, not to this channel, but to a channel that was one of the main inspirations for my channel, and that was the Top Cut. As you know, the head person of the Top Cut, Puka, got a job at Pokemon, so everyone is really happy for him, but unfortunately that means that he will no longer be doing the Top Cut. And so basically, if you don't know, the Top Cut was a channel that featured decks are like really good, really standard decks, and he also did crazy like Bad Deck Monday stuff like that, where he would take totally random cards and make a deck out of it and make it work. He was a genius player. It was very fun to watch, and I just want to say thank you for all that you've done. Now let's get on to the set review. So this set is absolutely broken. I'm just gonna say that right now, and we're gonna get some ORAS Megas. Now you may be wondering, like, why aren't they finishing off XY Megas? And I'm going to say to you, I have no idea. So we're going to continue on. We have a lot. I'm going to read off the EXs to you first. We got Thundurus EX, Gallade EX, Mega Gallade EX, Latios EX, Mega Latios EX, Rayquaza EX, Mega Rayquaza EX. There's actually never mind. We also have Hydreigon EX, Shaman EX, and I think that's it. But all of these Pokemon look like they have potential. First of all, we're going to look at Thundurus EX. This one doesn't really have as much potential as the rest of them, so this one kind of ignore. Thundurus EX, I'll show up a picture of it now. Full art looks really cool. Normal art is a little disturbing, but Headlock for 2 energy, flip a coin, yeah. It also has the fighting weakness, which is really a problem. Fighting is such a strong choice these days, and steel is not really that common, so this one actually does not have as much worth as I would think it to be. And next we're going to go into Hydreigon EX. Now this one's interesting. It has an ability called Dragon Road, and if there's any stadium card in play, the retreat cost of each of your dragon Pokemon is 2 energy. It's 2 colorless less. Now this is this is a pretty decent ability if you think about it. You keep this on your bench. One, it has 180 HP, and it has this ability, this ability, Dragon Road. So it cuts down on the. I guess that would have synergy with Latios EX, which we're going to move into next. So this is really interesting. This set is going to implement a lot of first turn attacks. Well, normally you can't really do first turn attacks, but they're shaking it up. Look at Latios EX for me real quick. With 2 retreat and first attack for 1 psychic energy, fast rate. Now, I mean, maybe wondering like, well, 40 damage, that's not that much. But this attack can be used on your first turn. I know it says it's Japanese on the picture, but I'll throw up the card text that Bulbapedia has for you. This attack can be used on your first turn. That is incredible. That can, if you put on like a Muscle Band or Silver Bangle, you're already doing at 60 damage at most. Oh, 60 damage at least if you put on that Muscle Band. Incredible fast attacker. I can really see this for some of the hyper offensive teams. You start out with the Latios, and then you attack on your first turn, which is huge. Really is big, especially for evolution decks, which you're probably going to see less of. You're really going to see less and less evolution decks, I believe, because of the set. Next, we're going to move on to Mega Latios EX. Sonic Ace. Discard 2 energy attached to this Pokemon. This attack does 120 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. I don't really believe that this is... And I don't believe this is better than normal Latios. The art is freaking amazing. But again, I don't really see the potential, especially when you have to have a water a colorless and a psychic. So, I mean, I don't know. So next we are going to, what's the next EX? I'm sure this is what y'all all want. I'm going to say that one for last. We're going to go last. We're going to go into Shaman EX, which I believe is the best EX in this set. No doubt. 110 HP. They may be wondering, like, that's not really good. But I'm going to go over a few things for you. 1. Fighting resistance. Really, really good. This card can get you really quick to there. And look at this. Setup. When you have this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may draw cards until you have 6 in your hand. That's pretty good. And then Sky Return this Pokemon and all cards attached to your... Okay, maybe it's not the best EX in this set. But this has a lot of utility, especially when you can put it down, put it up, put it down, put it up, and it only has 1 retreat. So if you have to retreat, it's really, really light. So next we're going to move on to... I believe all that's left is Gallade. Gallade EX, I believe, has better utility than Mega Gallade. So, first of all, I'm going to tell you a little thing. Gallade is my second favorite Pokemon, only falling short to Gardevoir, so having him have an EX and a Mega and like the set right after Gardevoir is pretty awesome. So 2 retreat cost, Swift Lunge, you may have your opponent switches active. Side Slasher is really interesting. This attack does 20 more damage for each prize card you have left. Well, it starts off with 50, and then you have 6 prize cards if they haven't taken any. That's 120. You're already doing 170, which is a knockout on most EXs. Put a Muscle Band, 190. You can really, really get up there. 190 damage is really, really good, but you have to be careful because, again, if you lose a prize card, you're doing less damage. But this card has a lot of utility. It's like a first turn, get out there, put all your psychic energy on him. That's like the only problem. It's 3 psychic energy. I guess you could run a little bit of Dimension Valley action in there, and then it's only 2 psychic energy again, but it's like a turn 3. So be careful with that. Alright, so now we go on to the big stuff. Rayquaza, whatever. So we're going to look at the normal EX, which looks, again, sick. Intensifying Burn. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a Pokemon EX, it does 50 more damage. That's really not that bad. You're doing 60 damage to an EX, plus, you know, if you have a Silver Bangle, it's doing 90 damage for 1 energy. That's really good. And it has 170 HP, and it's resistant to fighting. That's really not that bad. Dragon Pulse, we're not going to know. Next, we're going to move into... Where's the Mega? There we go. Mega Rayquaza EX. Now, hold up. This card is really good. I'm going to tell you why. First of all, we're going to look at the 220 HP. Again, the resistance fighting. Really good. Now we're going to look at something new. Delta abilities. If you remember, in the last set we had Primal things. Omega and whatever. Omega and Alpha. Now we have Delta. Evolution. This is a new one. You may play this card from your hand to evolve a Pokemon during your first turn, or the turn you play that Pokemon. Broken. Broken, 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 broken. Why is this broken? Rayquaza EX, Rayquaza Spirit Link, boom. You can automatically evolve into Mega Rayquaza. Turn 1. Turn 1. Turn 1, you are having a Mega Rayquaza on the field. Now, of course, you gotta search for all that stuff, but seriously, that's turn 1 monster. And it has Emerald Break. This attack does 30 damage times the amount of bench Pokemon you have in play. Whoa, if you only have 5, that you might be saying, Michael, if you only have 5, that's only 150 damage. Hold up. Hold up. Look at this new Stadium card. The number of benched Pokemon each player can have is now 8. Just let that sink in. Just let that sink in. You can have 8 benched Pokemon at a time now. That's 240 damage from Rayquaza. You could do 240. That's a knockout on everything. That is seriously a knockout on... I can't even think of something that can live that. Wailord? Does Wailord even live that? No, I don't think so. Sorry, I just had to take a deep breath. Next, we're gonna go on to some of the utility Pokemon that I've seen. Not really that much, but I have seen a couple. First, we're gonna look at Reshiram from the Emerald Break. It has 130 130 HP. Oof. But it does have the ability Turbo Blaze. Turbo Blaze. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, you may attach 1 fire energy from your hand to your Dragon Pokemon. Well, if you have a couple of these on the bench, because you can have 8 bench Pokemon now, if you have 3 of them, you can attach 3 fire energy per turn. A lot of fire acceleration for either Hydreigon or Rayquaza. No, Rayquaza's normal type. It's really weird. But or Latios, whatever. So that one's pretty good. And so next we're gonna move on to Deoxys. Now Deoxys is again one of those first turners. Well, first we're gonna look at 110 HP. It's pretty decent, not as good as the 130. 110. Look at this, first contact. This attack can also be used during your first turn. Draw 2 cards. That is really good. You can set up and have 2 card acceleration. That's really good if you're gonna have a Mega Gallade. Which, did we even look at Mega Gallade? I think I completely skipped over Mega Gallade. I am really sorry. I completely skipped over Gallade. But yeah, you saw Deoxys. First, we're gonna look at Mega Gallade, 220 HP. Psychic weakness still. The art is incredible. Both of them. And let's look at the attack Wicked Blade. For 2 Psychic, 1 colorless. Again, you can go ahead and do that Dimension Valley again, reduce that psychic energy cost, but again you still have that colorless. This attack does 30 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon that have damage counters on them. Now 110 damage may not be that much, but you also have to take into consideration this Pokemon is not going to be a sweeper. You're not going to put this out turn 2 and sweep everybody. No, this is a more of a cleanup. This is what you put in the 4th slot. You wanna bring everyone home, right? So what you wanna do with this is you wanna have cards like Landorus. You wanna have cards like Crobat. Put damage counters on the bench, and then you wanna go in with Gallade and sweep. Just watch out for Mr. Mime. Play a couple Lysanders so you can get that thing out of there. But this Pokemon, I believe this Pokemon has a lot of potential, and I believe normal Gallade has a lot of potential as well. Now we're going to move on to the supporters. There are like only 2 supporters in this whole set, which is really weird. But first we're going to look at Winona, something. Look at this. Search your deck for up to 3 colorless Pokemon. Put them in your hand. I'm going to see a lot of Mega Rayquaza decks. I mean, like, why not? I mean, it's too easy. It's literally too easy to put a Mega Rayquaza down, like turn 1 or 2. It's really that easy. It's really. So that's why this card is potential. The art also looks really good. So if you plan on having a Rayquaza deck, make sure you have a couple of these. Search out for 3 colorless Pokemon. Search out for Rayquaza, both Rayquazas if you want. Next we're going to go into the broken Wally. Wally is incredibly broken. Okay, listen to this. Search your deck for a card that evolves from one of your Pokemon, excluding Pokemon EX, and put it on that Pokemon. This counts as evolving your Pokemon. Shuffle your deck afterwards. Now you may be like, oh, we've had a couple of those before. That's not really that broken. You may use this card on your first turn or a Pokemon that was put into play this turn. Yeah. Come on, Wally. Why you gotta be broken like that? Again, this doesn't really help for EX decks, which I do believe are going to be more rampant. But if you do have a very nice evolution deck like Crobat, like I was saying, well, that's not really that good if you use your supporter for it. But if you have a really solid evolution deck, this card is really good, especially if it's only stage 1. So if you have an evolution deck, I would be on the look for this card. You may want it. Alright, next we're going to go look into the trainers. Look at this, we got a Revive, which is put 1 basic Pokemon card from your discard pile onto your bench. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, it's standard. You can put your EX on there, I do believe. Oh, I'm reading the print for black and white print, so that may not. So what it is base set is put it on your bench, but you have to put damage counters equal to half its HP, but Black and White says just put a basic Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench. Don't really know how they're going to do that. Trainers Post is the next one. This one is look at the top 4 cards of your deck, choose one trainer you find there, and put it in your hand, shuffle the other cards back into your deck. That's actually pretty good there. You can search the top 4 cards for Winona, and then you can get their Rayquaza. Pretty simple. Next, we are going to look what's next. Wide Lens. One of the Pokemon this is attached to does damage to your opponent's bench Pokemon. Apply weakness and resistance. Put it on Mega Glade. Smith card is really, really good on Mega Glade because it's already doing damage to the bench if they have damage counters. Keep alert on for that as well. Then we have Glade, Spirit Link, Standard. Art looks really cool. We have Latios, Spirit Link. And now that I'm looking at it, I don't see Rayquaza Spirit Link. Is that like a thing? Is there no Rayquaza Spirit Link? I guess there's no Rayquaza Spirit Link. That's really weird. Yeah. Maybe I'm blind, but I don't see it. That's very interesting. Very interesting. So I also see 2 Mega Rayquaza. Alright guys, I'll stop talking now. See you guys in the next video when I do another deck review. Stay tuned for that. I think you already know which Pokemon I'm going to do, but go ahead and leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.